My brother married my girlfriend, my family backed them and demanded I forgive. So I made one decision that shocked everyone forever. I sat at the head of the Thanksgiving dinner table, looking at the two people who had torn my life apart. My brother Caleb and my ex-girlfriend of 4 years, Maya. They were holding hands. Maya's finger bore the exact vintage engagement ring. I had spent 6 months saving up to buy her. 6 months ago, I walked into our apartment and found them together. When I broke down, my family didn't comfort me. They shielded them. Caleb and Maya found true love. Leo, my mother had told me, her voice cold and dismissive. You can't blame them for their hearts. You need to forgive them. We are a family. My father had agreed. Don't ruin the family dynamic over a girl, son. Move on. They expected me to scream. They expected me to fight. Instead, I just went numb. I didn't utter a single word of anger. I just nodded. I forgive them, I said quietly back then. That single sentence made my family sigh in relief. They thought they won. They thought I was the weak one who would just swallow the humiliation. For the next 6 months, I played the part of the supportive, healed brother. When Caleb announced they were getting married in a rush, private ceremony, my mother demanded I attend. It would mean the world to your brother if you were his best man. Leo, she said, squeezing my arm. Show everyone how mature you are. Of course, I replied with a calm smile. I'll handle everything. I even offered to host a pre-wedding family dinner at my house. Which brings us to tonight. The night before the wedding, the atmosphere in my dining room was celebratory. Maya looked radiant, though she avoided eye contact with me. Caleb looked smug, like a thief who had gotten away with the ultimate prize. A toast, my father said, raising his glass, to family and to overcoming past obstacles. Everyone drank. I just watched them. Actually, I said, standing up and tapping my glass with a spoon, I have a wedding gift for the beautiful couple. Since I won't be able to make it to the ceremony tomorrow, my mother's smile dropped. What do you mean, Leo? You're the best man. I said smoothly. But my flight leaves in 3 hours. Caleb frowned. A flight to where? To Switzerland, I replied, leaning against the table. For my new job. I start on Monday. You're missing my wedding for a job? Caleb sneered, his true colors showing. Are you really still that petty? Not at all, I said, pulling out a thick manila folder from under my chair. In fact, I wanted to leave you both with a clean slate, so you don't have to worry about me anymore. I tossed the folder onto the center of the table. It slid right next to Caleb's plate. What is this? Maya asked, her voice trembling slightly. Open it, I whispered. The room went dead silent. Caleb opened the folder. Inside were stacks of legal documents and bank statements. As you all know, I started, my voice completely devoid of emotion. Dad put the family construction business in my name, so 5 years ago for tax restructuring, I owned 70% of the company shares. My father stood up, his face turning pale. Leo, what did you do? I sold my shares, I said, looking my father dead in the eye, to our biggest competitor, Apex Holdings. The buyout went through at 4 odd p.m. today. You did what? My father roared, his chair violently scraping against the hardwood floor. That company is our family legacy. Was, I corrected him calmly. Apex is liquidating the assets. The company will be dissolved by next month. Dad, your pension is tied to those shares. It's gone. Caleb, your position as vice president? You don't have a job on Monday. Maya gasped, staring at Caleb, whose face had completely drained of color. Leo, you can't do this! My mother screamed, tears streaming down her face. We are your family! You told me that family means sacrificing for the happiness of others, I replied, my voice dropping to a chilling, razor-sharp whisper. You asked me to forgive them, I did, but forgiveness doesn't mean I have to finance your lives. I turned my gaze to Maya. Oh, and Maya? The apartment you and Caleb are living in? It's under my name. The eviction notice was served to your landlord this afternoon. You have 30 days. Caleb lunged across the table, grabbing my collar. You psychopath! You ruined my life. Over a girl? I didn't flinch. I didn't raise my voice. I just looked into his panicked, desperate eyes. No, Caleb, not over a girl, I said softly, removing his hands from my shirt with effortless strength. Over respect. You wanted my life. You can have the remnants of it. I picked up my packed suitcase waiting by the front door. I looked back at the shattered remnants of my family. My mother was sobbing. My father was staring blankly at the floor, realizing he was broke. And Maya was arguing furiously with Caleb about where they were going to live. Congratulations on the wedding, I said. I walked out the door, closed it gently behind me, and finally breathed in the cold, fresh air of complete freedom.